Good morning, students. So today we are continuing with our next topic in chapter respiration in plants, and that is the Krebs cycle. Student, the another name of the Krebs cycle is a tricarboxylate cycle. It is also known as a TCA cycle. Before I proceed for that, I have also added some flow charts for you, and that I am going to explain you, and that is quite helpful for your exams. So if we are asked to write differences between aerobic and anaerobic respiration, then how can we write? So I have written here, please go through that. Aerobic respiration. So aerobic respiration, breakdown of the food, it always takes place in the presence of oxygen. And in anaerobic respiration, breakdown of food, it takes place but in the absence of oxygen. Okay, students. Second point is energy is released in higher amount in aerobic respiration. You know that 36 ATPs, they are formed in the mitochondria, whereas in anaerobic respiration, energy is released in lesser amount. Then what are the end products in aerobic respiration? Carbon dioxide and water. They are the end products. Whereas in anaerobic respiration, as you know that it may be alcoholic fermentation, it may be lactic acid fermentation. So the end product may be any acid such as lactic acid or an alcohol such as ethanol along with or without molecules of carbon dioxide. Yes, student, aerobic respiration is a slow process and it takes longer time to release energy. Whereas anaerobic respiration, it is comparatively a fast process. And if you have to give the example, then in aerobic respiration, you can write animals and plant cells. And in anaerobic respiration, you can give the example of human cells, such as muscle cells in which lactic acid fermentation takes place. And you can also give the example of some primitive type of fungi, such as unicellular fungus, yeast, and primitive type of bacteria also. Okay, student, we have done a glycolysis in detail. So I am on the another flow chart, and that is the differences between glycolysis and Krebs cycle. So always remember, glycolysis takes place in the cytoplasm of the cell, and Krebs cycle, it occurs inside the matrix of the mitochondria. Okay, student, there are two things in mitochondria. One is the inner membrane of the mitochondria, that is cristae, and intermembrane space is there. So we will discuss about that, what happened in that intermembrane space later on. So here I want to tell you that in the mitochondrial matrix, Krebs cycle takes place. Okay, glycolysis is a linear pathway, whereas Krebs cycle, it is a cyclic pathway. And glycolysis, it is the first step of respiration in which glucose is broken down to the level of pyruvate. So here a hexose sugar glucose enters and a 3-carbon compound, that is pyruvic acid or pyruvate, is formed. Whereas in Krebs cycle, that is the second step of respiration. So here an active acetyl group, it actually enters and later broken down completely. And as a result, so many intermediate compounds are formed, such as alpha ketoglutarate acid, malic acid, oxaloacetic acid is the last compound. The fourth point regarding glycolysis is the process is common to both aerobic and anaerobic modes of respiration, but Krebs cycle, it always occurs only in aerobic respiration. Then glycolysis, it degrades a molecule of glucose into two molecules of an organic substance, and that organic substance is pyruvate or pyruvic acid, which is a 3-carbon compound. Whereas Krebs cycle, it degrades pyruvate completely into inorganic substances. So here the inorganic substances may be carbon dioxide and water. So glycolysis consumes 2 ATP molecules for the initial phosphorylation of substrate molecules, whereas in Krebs cycle, no ATPs are consumed. Then in glycolysis, net gain is of 2 molecules of NADH and 2 molecules of ATP for every molecule of glucose broken down, whereas in Krebs cycle, 6 molecules of NADH and 2 molecules of FeDH2 for every 2 molecules of acetyl coenzyme A oxidized by it. Yes, student, we have revised about fermentation in our previous lecture. So now here I have also written again the differences between aerobic and anaerobic respiration that I have already discussed with you. So please go through this flow chart. Then there is one another flow chart, and that is about if you are asked to write differences between combustion and respiration. And you can use this flow chart. The energy is released at once in combustion, but the energy is released in sectorial stages in case of respiration. Then in combustion, sugar, it first melts, then chars, and later burns to produce flame. Whereas in respiration, no charring occurs during oxidation of sugars. In combustion, no intermediates are formed, whereas in respiration, several intermediates they are formed. In combustion, it always occurs in the absence of water, whereas respiration occurs in the presence of water. So combustion, external heat is absorbed, whereas in respiration, certain amount of energy is stored in the body and is utilized by the body. Combustion enzymes are not required, whereas in respiration, enzymes they are required. Yes, student, here also I have written some differences between respiration and combustion. So go through that. They are very much similar to the previous one. So here I have also written the differences between fermentation and anaerobic respiration. So fermentation, it generally occurs in microorganisms and yeast, and anaerobic respiration, it is concerned with higher plants. So the other two flow charts that are very much familiar to you, anaerobic and aerobic respiration, and respiration and combustion. Okay, student, now I am proceeding with my next topic, and that is the detailed explanation of the tricarboxylic acid cycle. And it is also known as a TCA cycle. The cycle is also called as Krupp cycle in honor of the scientist Hans Krupp, who first elaborate this cyclic pathway. So what happened at the end of the glycolysis? After the oxidation of the, you can say after the breakdown of the glucose instead of oxidation, because it is an anaerobic process, a 3-carbon compound is formed, and that 3-carbon compound is pyruvate. So later this 3-carbon compound, a pyruvate, it reacts with coenzyme E, NAD+, and it later forms acetyl coenzyme E along with 2 molecules of NADH2. And in this way, this acetyl coenzyme, which is a 2-carbon compound, it later changes into a 6-carbon compound on oxidation, and this is the citric acid. So one molecule is released when pyruvate, it gets converted into acetyl coenzyme E, and the other molecule of carbon dioxide, it is released when this citric acid, which is a 6-carbon compound, it later changes into alpha ketoglutarate acid. So here when this conversion takes place, when one molecule of carbon dioxide is released, whereas one molecule of NADH2 is formed. Then this alpha ketoglutarate acid, which is a 5-carbon compound, it later changes into a 4-carbon compound succinic acid. But during this conversion, one and third molecule of carbon dioxide is released, and one molecule of NADH2 is formed, and one molecule of GTP is also formed. So here GTP is guanosine triphosphate. Then this succinic acid, which is a 4-carbon compound, it later changes into another 4-carbon compound, and that is malic acid. And during this process, one energy-rich molecule is formed, that is FeDH2. When this malic acid, which is a 4-carbon compound, it changes into oxaloacetic acid, which is again a 4-carbon compound. Then again, one more molecule of NADH2 is formed. So if we go through the entire pathway, what we observe that there are 4 molecules of NADH2 which are formed during this cyclic pathway, whereas one molecule of FeDH2 is there and one molecule of GTP is there. And what we conclude from our previous observation, that from glycolysis, we have two molecules of ATP and one NADH that is formed during glycolysis that enter into the later into the aerobic respiration. Its oxidation takes place and it forms NAD+. And during aerobic respiration, later by the addition of the electrons, its further reduction takes place. And that NAD plus it changes into NADH2. So here in the aerobic respiration, we get two molecules of NADH2 in the aerobic respiration equation. But what happened in the tricarboxylic acid cycle or TCA cycle? We have four molecules of NADH2 and then we have one molecule of FADH2 and one molecule of GTP. As there are four molecules of NADH2, so what we have to do? We have to use this second equation. So this is the complete equation for the Krebs cycle. So pyruvic acid, two molecules, it enters into the cycle. 4 NAD plus is there, then FAD plus one molecule and two molecules of water along with ADP and inorganic phosphate. So it gives 3 molecules of carbon dioxide, 4 molecules of NADH, 4 protons, then ATP and FADH2 is there. So we have to multiply the whole equation by 2. So here we get 2 molecules of pyruvic acid enters and as a result 4 molecules. Here we written 4, so instead of 4 when we multiply it by 2, then 4 2s are 8. So here we obtain 8 molecules of NADH2 and 2 molecules of FADH2 on multiplying the equation by 2. So as you know, one NADH molecule, it gives us how many ATPs? 3 ATPs. So here if we have 8 molecules of NADH, then 8 3s are 24. So we have 24 ATPs here. And from FADH2 molecule, as there are 2 FADH2 molecules and one molecule gives us 2 ATPs. So 2 into 2, it is equal to 4. So 24 from NADH and 4 from this FADH. So we have 28 now. And then we have GTP molecule. So again we divide, multiply this with the 2. So we get how many GTPs? So one GTP is there. So that GTP is equivalent to ATP. So 2 GTPs gives us, that is 2 ATPs. Actually, so 28 plus 2, it is equal to 30. And from the previous observation, we get 6 from NADH during aerobic respiration equation and 2 from glycolysis. So that 6 plus 2 is equal to 8. So 30 from Krebs cycle and 8 from those glycolysis and aerobic respiration. So we get 38 ATPs. So the net gain of this cellular respiration is 38 ATPs. Okay, student, after this lecture, we will learn about electron transport chain in our upcoming lecture. Before this, you go through the Krebs cycle pathway as well as fermentation. Then only this topic will be clear to us. So that's all in today's lecture, student.